relationship. The way in which two concepts, objects, or people are connected. But this idea of connectedness becomes rather contradictory because we live in a world where it's so easy to connect through the internet. But I don't think there has ever been a time where we felt more lonely in our relationships. I think a lot of people in my generation have lost sight of what it means to love and be loved because something is blocking our view of what true love actually looks like. And I think that thing that's in our way is fear. To put it simply, perfect love casts out all fear. However, perfect fear casts out all love. So what are we afraid of? Rejection, heartbreak, commitment, or loneliness? Being misunderstood or getting betrayed? Or not being enough? When we let these fears take control, we give up on ourselves. We all have that dream to have someone who knows us and loves us unconditionally. Someone who can be our other half, our missing piece. But if we let our fears stop us from taking that next step, we're going to miss out on everything after it. Learning to love unconditionally without being afraid takes years of practice. But I know a few people who have managed to figure it out.
Well, my name's Evelyn Knipley.
Name is Clayton Knipley.
And how long have you been married?
That was not one of your questions you're adding. I got subtracted from 65, so it's 53 years.
Okay.
I think of her as a partner, a lover, and a friend, all the above, all the good things you would expect because she has been that since day one.
You accomplish so much more together than you do by yourself, even though you think you've got the world by the tail, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't give it up for nothing.
My name is Karina Little.
My name is Terry Little.
I've been married 29 years. It's 4 months.
Even though we didn't meet until I was, 27, 28 years old, we kind of grew up together. I mean, not growing up physically, but growing up mentally.
I like everything. I do. I like his love for God. I love that about him, and I love that he is a good man that has a good heart, and he tries to do well by me, by his kids, and by his neighbors, and everybody around him.
I think she knows me. She knows my heart. I know her, and I know her heart.
My name is Emily Troop.
Brandon Benjamin Troop.
Okay, and how long have you been married?
I've been married... Brandon, get this right. Okay, I've been married 3 years and 2 months.
Okay.
2.5 months.
I think when I saw her, just her devotion to me, and just her faith in God, I knew she was somebody I could depend on.
He asked me out on a Monday to go out on a Friday night. By Wednesday, I told Mom that I was going to marry him. So it took 2 days.
In the beginning, we were, I would say, both somewhat dominant personalities, which is what I was looking for because I didn't want somebody that would cower every time I spoke. I wanted an equal and not a subordinate. And she fulfilled that all the way through, so.
When I had my car accident, he made sure all the windows, even though he couldn't be right here by me, He made sure all the windows were open like he could save me from the outside by looking in, you know. I mean, it's just the little things. It's not the big trips and the golden rings and all this. In fact, it bores us, both of us, you know, but it's just being there for me whenever I need it.
We went out to supper last night, and I sat next to him, and our body touches. And my hand is holding his, and it was neat. And I look at all these couples in the restaurant. They're sitting across from each other, they're on their phones, they're disconnected.
My biggest fear, and my kids' biggest fear, is finding a person that's real. Because this world today, everybody is brought up to be fake and to be something they're not, and to be self-centered and not show that they're self-centered, and to be truly desirable, when on the inside they're all about me.
I was afraid of a lot of things. One, making a decision that wasn't right. And I was afraid that, you know, she wasn't who I thought she was, or I wasn't sure of her character earlier on. She seemed like a great person, but I didn't grow up with her. I didn't know her as well as I had gotten to know other people.
The fear is unknown. It's in a sense like where I don't know the character of this person. And I didn't know much about Brandon because we were just barely friends at that time. But I would say that I had a confidence in who he placed his identity in, because he believed in Jesus, and so I was trusting God and him, essentially.
Realize what you're walking into. Know each other. You know, don't just fall in love and say, this is it, you know, because he's always calling or he's doing something. Know what you're walking into, you know. Take time.
I think any relationship, when you enter into a commitment like marriage, you do learn as you go to some extent.
You spend that first part of your romance and all romantic and stuff, and then you get to the point where you have to really decide whether you like somebody or not.
I oftentimes envisioned packing up and leaving. And not because of anything he ever did, it was because of what he didn't do. He didn't say, I love you. I had to grow up and realize that isn't something I needed to have in a loving marriage. I had to make some changes in my core beliefs of what love is before I could have a relationship.
Like Brandon and I, we practice clean slate.
Almost every night or several times a week, or even just on an occasion where we've wronged each other, I'll ask her, do you forgive me everything?
We just say, I forgive you everything.
And the power of forgiveness is unknown. It's amazing.
I think unconditional love is like a test of what you go through when you get married.
Every marriage or every relationship is going to have differences, maybe occasional arguments over some petty things, some bigger things, but you find a way to either compromise or one side will give in to the other.
Just as long as you have each other, you know, you have it all. So
It's a verb. Love is a verb. It requires action. It requires intention, purpose. It requires God.
So it's just basically willing to give up something of yourself for somebody else, no matter how big it is, including giving up your life.
Unconditional love is, I would say, a love that looks beyond the imperfections, loves without strings.
There's no clauses, there's no, well, I'll love you if, I'll love you to get back, love in return. It's pure 100% give.
When you've got love, you've got it all.
Love. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out all fear.